We are here in Piazza Duomo in Milan, Italy, representing U.S. citizens across Italy who have signed our petition calling on the U.S. government to immediately stop the inhumane separation of children from their parents crossing the U.S. border. The U.S. policy is not isolated, but linked to anti-immigrant policies across Europe, and it must stop immediately. It has been condemned by the United Nations, Amnesty International, all U.S. First Ladies, and large portions of public opinion in the U.S. and internationally. In solidarity with the Families Belong Together movement across the USA, the International Network of Women's March Global Chapters, and an international coalition of U.S. citizens abroad, we are petitioning the U.S. Attorney General Jefferson Sessions III and our U.S. Ambassador, Louis Eisenberg, to make our voices heard. If you are a U.S. citizen in Italy, there's still time to sign our petition. For all concerned people, please see our links for additional resources to end family separation. Take part in upcoming planned demonstrations.
Petition to Jefferson Beauregard Sessions III, United States Attorney General. Copied to Michael McCall, House Homeland Security Committee, and Senator Ron Johnson, Senate Homeland Security and Government Affairs Committee. We, U.S. citizens in Italy, oppose the U.S. government's cruel, inhumane, and unjustified separation of children from their parents along the U.S. border with Mexico and at other ports of entry to the U.S. We protest the conditions in which these children and their parents are kept. We protest the irreversible trauma that is being perpetrated against people who are simply seeking a better life and in many cases fleeing serious persecution. To separate immigrant families in this manner is both immoral and illegal. Children as young as 18 months and younger are torn from their mother's arms by the U.S. government for the express purpose of deterring others from crossing the border. In this way, families have faced persecution and other extreme harm. They are being victimized again by the government to which they turn for help. We oppose the inhumane policies of Trump's administration, his Department of Justice, and the Department of Homeland Security, and we call for immediate reform. The Trump administration's conduct is a huge stain on the United States, a democracy founded by and built by immigrants. It is a stain on U.S. citizens living abroad, and it is now a threat to the lives and safety of millions of immigrant children. What the Trump administration is doing with the cooperation of Immigration and Customs Enforcement and Customs and Border Protection agents is a crisis of massive proportions. This zero-tolerance policy, under which all adults entering without documents are prosecuted in mass criminal trials and accompanying children are taken from them as a deterrent, violates not only the U.S. Constitution, but also international law. It runs totally counter to guidance from the Office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights and the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees. It has been rightly decried by Amnesty International and numerous other organizations. The Trump administration has done nothing to address the serious humanitarian and legal concerns. Instead, it continues to escalate the policy of separating immigrant families, while also sowing lies and confusion in the public debate.
Many of us are ourselves immigrants in Italy. Many of us are the sons or daughters of immigrants in the U.S. We are disgusted by the dehumanizing rhetoric President Trump uses against immigrant people. We demand that the Trump administration stop using immigrant children as bargaining chips. We denounce all inhumane and discriminatory immigration policies of the Trump administration and also abusive policies implemented by past U.S. administrations. We demand that the U.S. Department of Justice and Department of Homeland Security immediately stop the implementation of any policy that separates children from their families, that the administration ensure the well-being of children in its custody, and that it immediately start reuniting the separated children with their families.
Somos estadounidenses en el extranjero. Vemos y escuchamos vuestro dolor. Estamos con ustedes y no vamos a estar en silencio hasta que los niños, las niñas están con sus madres y sus padres y se reúnan.
Families united, not divided. Familias unidas, non divididas. Familiae unite, non divise.